What is going on, guys? Lord Valor here, and welcome back to another episode of Lifecast. Again, recording ahead of time, so this is going to come to you guys like in the middle of summer. But for me, I'm still in school. So, to future me that's clicked on this video, fuck you, because I want to be in summer. I am joined today by Josh. Josh is back. You probably know him by now. Smash videos, podcasts. He kind of does it a lot with me. So, Josh, how are we doing today?
Yeah, sometimes I do a little bit too much with you, but that's besides the point. We'll save that for a different podcast.
Oh no. Exposed. So today, as you read from the title, we're going to be talking about Marvel. So we've both seen WandaVision, yes?
I have not seen the last episode.
Oh, jeez. Well, it might get spoiled for you then. But maybe. If I'm careful and don't, I'll be happy with myself.
Okay.
But, and I'm gonna probably just brush on the new Falcon Winter Soldier. I'll bring up dates of... I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to bring up dates of future Marvel content.
I'm behind on that too, just so you know.
Yeah, I figured. But we can also just talk about in general.
Yeah, I mean, behind meaning I haven't started it yet, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to start with a little bit of news, as I normally would. If I'd actually planned out my podcasts better, I would actually have a setup, and when I did have a setup, I would go news... and then my 3 topics, and then be the end. But I haven't done that in a while. So, WandaVision is now streaming. We'll talk about that. Assembled, March 19 on Disney+. It's just the making of WandaVision. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't read. The Falcon Winter Soldier is now streaming on Disney+. Black Widow is coming July 9.
Ooh.
I don't know if they're going to paywall that. If we're going to have to pay extra, or if they're just going to give it to us flat out. Not entirely sure. But as far as I know, it's kind of a backstory of Black Widow, which is kind of sad that it took her how long? This long? 10 years to get a backstory to her. I mean, it's just kind of like an afterthought, so that's kind of unfortunate, but...
I mean, at least we're getting it at all, right?
Exactly, yeah. I can't complain too much. Loki, June 11.
Loki excited for that?
Everyone says that, but I don't like Loki, so... I like the Thor...
It's a pun, and I'm just...
I'm sorry, I'm just not a huge fan of... Loki as a character. I love Thor. Thor is up there as my top Marvel characters and my top movies. I love them Thor movies.
He's lit.
Yes, he is lit.
Yes.
He's very lit. And I was looking this up the other day, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, that's coming out September 3. So by the looks of this, from what I've heard, it looks like there's that Spider-Man movie coming out too, and it looks like they're going to the Spider-Verse. They're going towards Spider-Verse as the next big thing. So I'm kind of excited for that. What If, Summer 2021, which is that animated series as What If, for example, what if one thing changed about a Marvel movie?
How it changed the entire MCU?
Exactly. So what if what's her name? Agent Carter had gotten the serum instead of Rogers. So stuff like that. Eternals, which is November 5. I don't know anything about it. I've just heard the name strewed around. Miss Marvel, fall 2021. I don't know what that is either. Hawkeye, late 2021. I'm excited for that one. That and the Winter Soldier I was very excited for, but yeah. I will explain later why I was not as excited for Falcon Winter Soldier when I first started watching it. Spiderman No Way Home, December 17. That I am very excited for. Spider-Man is my favorite I don't know. That feels probably cliche to a lot of people, but Spider-Man's my favorite.
Because Tom Holland, isn't it? Be honest.
Tom Holland really sells it, but I don't know. I think it's the Spider-Man games on the PS4 that really sold it for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, March 25, 2022.
See, that's what I'm excited for.
That's going to be interesting, too, because they're going to have Wanda a part of it, apparently.
I heard that it's going to be more scary than other movies.
Yeah, and
I heard that a couple years ago when this was still just an afterthought, so.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with that, because there's rumors that Wanda's going to be part of it, and the fact that Vision from... Oh, wait, is that a spoiler for you?
Maybe. I don't know.
White Vision? You saw White Vision at the end of the last episode.
I think so.
Yeah. So White Vision is a thing. I'm not going to explain that because I'll spoil it for Josh, but White Vision's a thing. So that's going to be interesting. Thor Love and Thunder, which is basically if it's canon, but what's Thor's girlfriend's name? You know who I'm talking about, though.
I do know who you're talking about.
She gets the hammer.
What's
basically
her freaking Agent Foster? Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. Yep, she gets the hammer. So we'll see how that goes. Black Panther 2, July 8.
Ooh, I liked the first one.
The first one was good. We'll see what they do with the second. I no idea. And then we're getting in the to be announced section kind of. Oh no, not just Blade is another one that they've hinted at. There's not really a lot known about that yet. Captain Marvel 2, I was not a huge fan of the first one, but if she's going to be a big part of whatever the next step of Marvel is, they definitely need to give her a second movie. She-Hulk, which is, I think, where Hulk, what's his name?
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner's cousin gets the Hulk because she takes blood from him and puts it in her because she's dying or something. That's how it is in the comics anyway. That's how she got Hulk powers. Is she was in a car crash, so she needed blood. So Banner was like, I really don't want to give you blood, but she's going to die, so he gave it to her and she just becomes a She-Hulk.
Fantastic.
So that's how that happened in the comics. Moon Knight, I know nothing about that. But he looks really badass.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this picture, and the title looks really good, and the drawing next to it, which I'm assuming is from the comics, looks really badass. So
what is it, like a boomerang?
It looks like a boomerang.
A pointy boomerang.
Yeah, it's in the shape of a moon too. That's good. That's good. I'm excited for that, and I know nothing about that. Secret Invasion. I've never heard of this. 2022 to Disney Plus. Marvel Studios will tackle arguably the biggest crossover comic event since the Civil War and Secret Invasion series So Nick Fury is going to be the star of that by the looks of it.
Can't get enough Samuel Jackson, can you?
Nick Fury is going to get Marvel 2 Electric Boogaloo. The Marvel Bros. Ironheart 2022. I have no idea what that is.
Probably Stark's daughter. If I had to guess.
Yeah, but why is this picture next to it is a black girl? And that doesn't make sense because in the movies she has a white daughter, but
I honestly don't know.
We're speculating at this point. Armor Wars. It's about time that War Machine got a movie. 2022 is that one. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. What the heck? I don't want a holiday special. I want Guardians of the Galaxy 3. When is that?
We all want that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Sure.
Quantumania.
That's to be announced.
That looks right.
There it is. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, yeah.
2023. That's what we want.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares about that holiday special crap?
Some people.
Deadpool 3! Yes!
I haven't seen the other two, but I want to.
Oh, we need to watch those then, Josh. They're on Hulu. We can watch them anytime.
Let's go.
They are very good.
We'll drag Kayla through them too.
Yeah. So the thing about those movies is, one, they break his fourth wall, so it's comedy. Two, he's not even a hero. He's just an anti-hero. So, I don't know. I like the second one better than the first, but that's an unpopular opinion.
Huh.
I'll
have to give my opinion. I'm really not that critical of movies at all. Like, I've almost never been displeased when watching a movie. Like, it takes a lot for me to not like a movie.
See, I'm kind of the same way. It just depends on what I take away from the movie. For example, the series, Pirates of the Caribbean series, started off good, but by the end was kind of crap because the story really didn't make sense. But that's not why I watched them. I watched them because they were funny. So in my eyes, they're still good movies because I laughed, and that was the point of them for me. It wasn't for the lore; it was for the laughs.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but again,
unpopular opinion.
Well, yeah, people definitely look at me weird when I say, "Oh yeah, I liked them all." They're like, "Really? The story didn't make sense." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but they were funny."
Better off than me. I haven't even seen all of them.
Looks like another Fantastic Four movie.
Because we need another one.
Because we need a third. To be fair, I think it was the second one wasn't all that great. It wasn't terrible.
The one with Chris Evans has, what's his name? Flame on, Human Torch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they ever plan on taking the Fantastic Four and putting them into the normal MCU, like with time travel. I don't know if that's something they would.
Kind of funky, especially with
exactly.
If they kept the actors the same, like Chris Evans would play Captain America and Human Torch, that would be kind of funky.
Yeah, that would be really funky. Well, we're yet to see what's gonna happen with that. I Am Groot to be announced on Disney Plus. I haven't heard of this. We haven't seen the last of Baby Groot.
Let's
apparently.
go.
Yes, Baby Groot is the cutest little thing. X-Men to be determined. Have you kept up on the X-Men series?
I've seen most of the origin ones.
Same. I've watched about half of probably what I need to, but the ones I've watched, X-Men Apocalypse, from what I've heard, Apocalypse is like the big bad, and they like defeated him in one movie, which was like a big turnoff for people.
Yeah, they kind of just like stabbed him with a bunch of steel I-beams, and then Phoenix blew him apart. Yeah.
I mean, Phoenix is powerful, don't get me wrong.
But
we should look that up. The ranking of people's power in the Marvel franchise, because that's very interesting. We'll do that at the end. And yeah, that's all that's been announced. I just got that from ET Online. ET is in not extraterrestrial, is in Entertainment Tonight. So yeah, that's the stuff that we'll probably be talking about is Black Widow, Loki, and maybe Hawkeye, because those are the ones that have been talked about a lot. So let's start with initial thoughts of WandaVision. Josh, I'll let you go first.
I think it's been a while since I've watched it, so like I'm kind of
out of it.
But I think I'm the same as everyone, where I was really confused at the beginning. Like I was like, why am I watching an 80s show in 2020, 2021? It's like, I don't know, it kind of was a turnoff, and I didn't really want to finish it, but I was like, all right, I'll stick with it. I got nothing else to do anyway. So I just kind of kept watching it, and then it kept on getting better and better. And then I thought there was only 6 episodes because they weren't all released at the same time. So I stopped watching it, and then I watched the
next one with me.
Yeah, and then I just never got around to watching the 8th one? 9th one? The last one.
The 8th, I think, is the last one. Yeah, we should definitely finish that.
Yeah,
it's 50 minutes, but
I've yet to watch the last one, but overall, as from what I've seen of it, it's very good, very well put together, and like the plot line definitely was confusing, but I think they're pulling it together.
But
really
by the end, it worked.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's what you just said was what I've heard of the most complaining about is the fact that it didn't feel like a Marvel show, is what people were saying. It just felt like
Inception, but stretched into a TV show, but with Marvel characters.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right to people, and I think that's because Marvel has this reputation of I don't know. They don't go. Yeah, they don't go outside the box very often, right?
Yeah.
And when they do go out of the box, it kind of throws people off, and that's what this was, right? They did something very different, and for that I salute them because I was interested the whole way through. Most people are like, I didn't want to watch it because it was just so weird, but I liked it all the way through. I figured they had to explain why it was doing what it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I figured there had to be some explanation to it, and that's what kept me watching. Was I knew the fact that they were gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
And it gave a lot more backstory to Wanda as well. And then, so that's always good, especially because when she popped up in the MCU, she was with...
Pietro?
Yeah, Pietro, her brother. And his name was... Quicksilver. And in the end of, I forget, was it...
Age of Ultron?
Age of Ultron that they were introduced. They were working with, what's that?
Ultron?
No, they were working with, they worked against Ultron. They worked against Ultron in that movie, and that's how Wanda became part of the Avengers when her brother was killed. But at the end of one of the movies, Hydra. They were working with Hydra.
Yeah. And Ulysses Claw was in there too.
Yep. So they were working with Hydra there for a while until they weren't. I don't remember how that panned out, but it panned out somehow.
Yeah.
The thing I did like about WandaVision was that they used the Quicksilver from the X-Men. They didn't use the Quicksilver from
the normal MCU.
The normal quote-unquote MCU. And I don't exactly know why that was, but there was a couple jokes where, what's her name? The sister of Two Broke Girls. That's all I know her from. And
Darcy?
That's all. Darcy. Yeah, thank you. Where Darcy was like, she recasted Pedro, and then she made some other joke about that not looking like the one. I don't know. They suddenly made jokes about the fact that it was not the one from the MCU. It was the one from X-Men.
So it's sort of a fourth wall break.
They kind of, yeah. You almost missed it if you weren't paying attention, but I definitely caught it. And that's also because I watched WandaVision twice. I watched it by myself, a little bit with you, and then I watched it with another friend of mine who hadn't seen it yet. So, yeah, overall, the series was good. I'm not going to spoil too much, but I'm glad they found a way to get Vision back. Even if he's not the same, they found a way to get him back, and to a point where I'm going to say he's fixable. He's able to change, I guess. That's all I can say without really spoiling anything for Josh. Yeah, it's really interesting how they did it. But by the end, you gathered that the one guy that was running the camp outside of Wanda's box was the bad guy, right? You picked out about that. So, as you can probably figure out, everything he said in the past 7 episodes was a lie.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to... Okay, this is not so much a spoiler, but kind of a little bit. But I just want to get it out there. Wanda did not steal Vision's body. I'm just saying... people keep telling me, didn't she steal it? That's how we got there. No. The series explains in the end episode how she didn't steal it. So, she did not steal Vision's body. So just for the people who are confused and are going to backlash me on that, she did not steal his body. No matter to whatever you believe, she did not, and I can explain that if you want me to in the comments, but... yeah, so any other thoughts, Josh, on WandaVision?
Well, I think since I haven't seen the last episode, I can't really say much more than what's already been said.
Right, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about it in fully, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It'll get people who haven't seen it interested as well. Because, yeah, definitely go watch that, because out of the two, Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, I actually liked WandaVision more, which surprised me, because I was more excited for Falcon Winter Soldier. So I'm just going to touch base on that a little bit. So I'll just explain kind of the first 2 episodes, because that's not really spoilers, that just kind of sets up the scene. And so basically there's this terrorist group which I still don't fully understand what their purpose was and why they existed. I don't know. I just didn't pick up on that very well. Something about wanting to go back to how it was during the snap. They didn't like that the government was giving out free money and they wanted all the free money, something along those lines. I don't know. It was really whack. And so basically, they got this super soldier serum and they have been injecting themselves with it. This group has. And so now it is Bucky and Sam's job to beat up on them. But you also are introduced to a new Captain America, because if you remember at the end of Endgame, the shield was given to Sam, but in the first episode, Sam's like, I don't want this, I don't feel worthy of it, so he gives it back to the government to put in a museum. Well, what does the government do? They're like, well, we need a new
Captain America.
We need a new Captain America. So, they give some, I forget the guy's name, but he's like a very good vet. Vietnam vet, that's not it. He's just a very good soldier, basically. And so they give him the shield, and they eventually their paths cross with Sam and Bucky, and obviously Sam and Bucky aren't very happy that he's getting this.
Yeah.
Obviously, but at first he does not have the Captain America does not have a super serum. That's all I'm gonna say. At first he is just a normal guy with a shield. There's a point where something happens. Without spoiling too much, that's all I can say. So yeah, it's just really interesting how you see character development in the character development. The only person who really has character development is Captain America, which is really sad because Bucky and Sam do not change a whole lot. They don't grow. And I don't know, the motives of everybody just seemed a little off, a little forced. So as far as Marvel goes, I wasn't very happy with it, but that's not a popular opinion. There was also not so subtle virtue signaling about political stuff in there, which also kind of, made me want to go two middle fingers to Disney because it's like, I don't need this in my life.
We have enough of it?
We have enough of it. I don't need it in my TV show. I'm just going to spoil this part. There's a point where Bucky and Sam are talking, and the police come up. They look at Bucky and say, is this guy bothering you? And it's like, oh, thank you. This is real subtle. And they do it for they do this for a whole 15, 20 seconds. And then the cop's like, wait, that's Sam. And I'm like, how would you not realize that? Like, within the first 5 seconds, you haven't moved. You're at the same distance from him. And it was just a forced political statement slap in your face, and you're just kind of like, well, that's dumb. And yeah, they try to paint the new Captain America as like this evil person when he's really more of an anti-hero. He's not a Captain America by any stretch of the imagination, but he's definitely not the bad guy. He's just a person who isn't Captain America and just looks bad because nobody can live up to the standards that
he did.
That Rogers did. So I don't like that they try to paint him in that light. I mean, and that's my one complaint about WandaVision too, to kind of go back to that. It seemed as if they tried to make Wanda look like the good person in the end. That's not really a spoiler. That's just my opinion, and I just didn't think it fit. So I don't know. Marvel's having I'm having my problems with them right now. But also I'm not going to stop watching them because I know they have the budget for it and I know they're good. You know what I mean? So like where Falcon Winter Soldier worked for me was their fight scenes. They had really good graphics, animations, or whatever you want to call it. They had really good CGI. Their fight scenes were well thought out. Except for the end one. That one didn't make sense to me. But I can explain that. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil. But I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here. But Josh, what were you excited... from what you've seen of Falcon Winter Soldier, what are you excited for?
I've seen almost nothing on it, so I don't know what to expect other than what you've just said. So,
Do you like Sam and Winter Soldier?
yes.
Like, those characters, I mean, I'm not saying rank those characters, but like you're familiar with them and
Yes,
you
I'm
want to see
familiar.
more on them, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that kind of the feeling?
Yeah.
Because Winter Soldier obviously started off villain, became not villain.
Uh-huh.
They gave him a little more backstory, which is nice. But as far as character development go, it's really kind of minuscule. Not really there, which kind of sucks. Sam, I don't know. Something was written wrong about him that just irks me wrong. It not irks me. It just rubs me wrong.
Huh.
I can't put a finger on it yet, but I don't know. There's just it started when they started doing those political statements. You obviously kind of turn off because like in today's world, there's so much political drama right now that you almost don't want that. And I read a stat somewhere like 30-40% of people at least, if not more, tuned off when they saw that and just actually shut their television off and just like, nope, I'm not watching this anymore.
Huh.
I would encourage you not to do that. Force yourself through it because
It's good in the end?
it's good. In the end, it's all right. I'm not going to tell you it's the best thing ever. Some things don't line up in my head, but also I'm not the writers, so I'm going to give writers credit that they know more than I do.
Fair enough.
And that's a lot of the time what it comes down to is like the writers know something I don't. Maybe they're setting something up in the future that I don't understand yet. So I'm going to give the writers and directors a lot of credit here. Maybe more than I should.
Benefit of the doubt, kind of?
I'm giving them benefit of the doubt because I know Marvel, as far as to this point, has been very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to find a bad Marvel movie that you aren't going to enjoy in some way.
Uh-huh.
Like, obviously they're gonna have their problems, they're gonna have their flaws, but they're not the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I've just been ranting, but
You don't need to make a whole new movie to just make the one tolerable.
exactly. Yeah. There was a lot of planning done here with Marvel, and it shows that they were definitely planning the way they were doing things. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on those two things. And since Josh really hasn't seen it, we can't really talk about that much more, but we can speculate on from what we've seen of Black Widow, which is July 9. So how much have you seen the trailer when it came out?
I have not, no. I have not been keeping up with Marvel
kind
of at all lately.
So Black Widow, I think Nick Fury's in it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I would assume.
I'm thinking
he's kind of in the backstory of everything.
He's kind of, yeah. That's why it's interesting when you go down to this the Secret Invasion movie that they're planning in 2022. It seems like they're going for another Endgame type thing where they get all the people together to do something. You know what I mean?
It's like one massive backstory. Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for Black Widow, What If, and that movie that we just said, Secret Invasion, and Moon Knight, because I don't know what that is, and it looks like a Batman character, and I'm kind of a fan of Batman.
Marvel Batman, woohoo!
Yeah, basically it looks like
had Iron Man.
I mean, yeah, but this guy just looks cool. I don't know. I really need to go look up Moon Knight. I know nothing about him, but he looks really cool. Maybe he's a villain, and I'm just dumb. But
I mean, there are good villains out there.
There are good villains. Darth Vader,
Thanos.
If you hate Thanos, you're hating him for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos is cool. I was gonna say it's another villain. I was gonna say, forget now, but yeah, there's good villains out there. Not good as in like the good guys.
Like
good
the morals, but like how they do what they do.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Like Thanos is cool. I would love to be.
He's got special effects on his side, therefore he's cool.
He's got special effects on his side. That reminds me of a scene from Deadpool 2. It's like, this is going to be the best CGI fight ever. He looks right at the camera.
I think I saw that in the Hishi for it, actually. I think he might have thrown that in there, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. We should definitely watch Deadpool. But actually, that's what I'm going to say. I'm excited for that, too, is the expansion of the X-Men universe, which kind of takes place on its own from Marvel, simply because it's a little edgier.
Yeah.
Like, if
It's
you watch
darker.
the X-Men's movies, it's a lot darker. It's a lot more...
Like Dark Phoenix? That was a dark movie.
Yeah.
So good, though.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to as you scroll through? Oh, and Spider-Man.
Pretty much everything that you're looking forward to. I know that's a super basic answer, but, you know.
I mean...
we seem to have similar tastes when it comes to Marvel stuff.
Right,
So.
yeah. Yeah, I'm also excited for that Spider-Man No Way Home, because... if they're setting it up, it looks like they're setting up Spider-Verse. Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
You should watch that too. But it looks like they're setting up that kind of thing in the MCU, which is going to be cool.
More special effects.
More special effects.
Lots of them.
Namor is number 10. So what we're gonna do is we're looking at the most powerful mutants from X-Men, the top 10. So Namor, never heard of him.
Me neither.
Rogue, never heard of him.
Sense.
Apocalypse, obviously.
Well, Rogue is in the X-Men. Rogue is one of the X-Men.
Is she?
Yeah, she takes people's powers and is able to use them, if I remember correctly. See the X's?
Well, is she in the movies?
Yes.
Oh man,
She's got like the weird blonde hair. She's in I don't remember which one, but I remember she hits Wolverine with her truck or something. No, I don't remember.
Oh,
remember that?
She
scene?
picks up Wolverine in her truck, doesn't she?
Yeah, and then
okay,
she like
yeah,
hits
I know
something
who that
and
is.
he falls out, and then his forehead is like bleeding, and then it heals right in front of her, and he's like, "Hey,
Okay.
you all right?" Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I know who that is.
Okay.
Apocalypse.
Makes sense.
Obviously, that makes sense. Quentin Quire.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of her. Professor X.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Oh, so when I was watching X-Men First Class, something was hitting me off about that movie. And then I realized afterwards that it's because he was walking. It was like, something's off.
Uh-huh.
Why is this off? And then he got paralyzed at the end of the movie. I'm like, oh! It's like, it hit me, and I was like, wow, I am dumb. Jean Grey.
That makes sense.
Is she in the... Yes,
That's
right?
Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, that's Phoenix. Okay, yep. Franklin Richards? Okay,
No.
no idea. Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
Yep. But she's in... That's weird, because she's in the MCU...
And in X-Men.
And in X-Men, which is really weird.
Uh-huh.
Legion.
Never heard of it, but he's got a badass haircut.
Yeah, according to that picture, he's got a badass haircut. Onslaught, don't know who that is. He's number 1. So, yeah, Scarlet Witch is more powerful than Dark Phoenix. That makes sense, but I know that Dark Phoenix is really powerful.
Yeah, just kind of puts it into perspective how strong Scarlet Witch is.
Yeah, and that's always my fright, is especially when they get a female character, if they make them too strong with no weaknesses. That was my problem with
Captain Marvel.
Uh-huh. And so far, they've given Scarlet Witch weaknesses. They've given her humanity, so I can't. They seem to have done her pretty well. But as far as Captain Marvel goes, that was my biggest problem with that.
Gotcha.
Now we're going to look up the MCU. We're going to do top 15. So, Valkyrie, from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes?
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, you're right. Yep,
Yeah.
You're right. She becomes the king of Ragnarok. Queen of Ragnarok. Yeah. Nebula is 14. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess. Hawkeye? Really?
Wow.
Hawkeye. I mean, I know
He do be shooting, though.
That would surprise me. That does surprise me, because he doesn't get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But this is according to Avengers Endgame, so maybe when he's pissed off, he's a little more powerful.
Yeah, when he's a badass samurai, he kind of is more powerful.
He do hit different.
Yeah, with a sword.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. Anyway, Black
He do be
Widow.
slicing, though.
He do be slicing. Black Widow checks out.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Gamora.
Uh-huh.
That's from Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know why I mixed them so far. Vision.
Oh, wow.
Really? Vision's only 10. Hulk is...
Okay.
Wow. This must be an opinion. I don't know if this is opinion. Because I would switch those two.
Yeah.
Black Panther, I know he's up there. But...
Yeah, that does kind of make sense. I feel like I would put him higher, though, because he has an impenetrable suit that does all the things that it does.
True. Spider-Man. Spider-Man's number 7. He literally has no powers.
I would put
He just
Black
got
Panther
bit by
above
a
Spider-Man
spider.
for sure.
What the heck? What?
I would put Black Panther above Spider-Man any day of the week.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I love Tom Holland. I love Spider-Man, but I don't think he's as powerful as you think he is. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Whenever you can read the future of, like, what do you say?
14,000,006.
Yeah. Iron Man.
Yeah.
He saved the day in the end. That's probably why he's so high up there. Captain America, always.
Yeah.
I'd always put him. I would put him in the top 5 for sure.
He do be strong.
He do be strong, and he has the morals, which I think really puts him up there.
Thor's only top 3?
Thor is only top 3.
Huh.
Thor is number 3. Captain
Marvel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They made her really powerful and then didn't use her powers. So you know what I mean? So
well,
like she
did
totally
completely cut through an entire spaceship.
Exactly. I know she's powerful, but like
why not do that to Thanos too? Just like
yeah, they just made her so powerful that she could take Thanos on her own, but they didn't. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. She totally could have kicked Thanos' butt. But and Scarlet Witch, my boy Thanos didn't even make the top 10. Not even the top 15. But yeah,
maybe
Scarlet. It's only the heroes. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Because anyone that puts Spider-Man above Thanos on a power list is the losing side of any argument.
You're right. Yeah. You're 100% correct. Yeah, Wanda Maximoff is very powerful, which is why it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her, especially after WandaVision.
And then Doctor Strange, if she's in there.
Yeah, if she's in that Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go too much on about Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch.
Just looking at the power scales. Scarlet Witch has a power scale of 100, and Captain America had 10. So
yeah, so did Spider-Man.
Yeah. What about Black Panther? Just out of curiosity.
What is Spider-Man? Spider-Man was 8.
And then Black Panther 7.85. Okay.
The thing about Scarlet Witch though is at the point of Endgame she had not harnessed her powers yet technically.
Yeah.
Like. I think it was that episode it was that episode you watched. The
play.
book. Yeah, she didn't have the book from WandaVision that the villain had. What's her name?
Agatha?
Agatha, yeah. And Agatha's a comic book villain. She's not a villain. She's an anti-hero in the comics, I do believe. She's the one who taught Scarlet Witch what she knows. So, the MCU did it that way. It's just she didn't teach it to her on purpose. We'll say. So yeah, that's basically it for all of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of talked about that for 40 minutes, which was longer than I thought we were going to go. So go us.
It happens.
It do happen though. So if you guys like this episode and you want us to go more in depth on Marvel content, we can definitely make that happen. I could probably convince Josh to, by the time next school year comes around, there'll be more Marvel content to go over. So I can definitely probably convince Josh to watch a couple movies with me.
We can write her be super behind on everything.
Exactly, yeah. And we can probably get me and Josh to get an in-depth description of maybe Black Widow, Loki, whatever series. We can definitely go in more in depth if that's what you guys would be interested in listening to.
Yes.
My podcasts don't have a specific theme, I would say. They just kind of go off of what I would think people would want to listen to. So make sure you comment down below if you do have suggestions. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Lifecast. When life gives you lemons, watch TV.